Good morning, and welcome to another fantastic discussion regarding another fantastic movie. In this case, I Am Roth, starring John Travolta.
Legend. What was this movie about, Andrew?
This movie was about 92 minutes long. It's basically a Taken ripoff. You've seen Taken 1, Taken 2, Taken 3, but have you seen Taken the Piss? An alternative title for this movie would be Captain Useless and His Friend Mr. Competent. From John Travolta and his ginger cat.
What? It's Ginger Cat.
Oh, that thing he's got on top of his head the whole time? I think it's what they call it, a taxidermy ginger cat. It's just been placed upon his head and glued down.
And his competent friend, you must be talking about SVU.
I'm talking about SVU. John Travolta is a man who runs a car factory. His wife works for the governor. His wife gets stabbed in front of his eyes, and he gets beaten up. And when the cops prove to be useless at hunting down the killers, he attempts to do it himself with varying degrees of skill and competence.
It doesn't help that you got to wait half the movie to find out that he is ex-special ops.
This is a movie we can spoil because it's not very good.
It's true.
So we're going to spoil it. So let's kick off.
Yeah.
What happened at the start? How did it open?
This movie opens up with a jumble of stock footage and what's meant to look like stock footage
Always a good sign.
of news presenters and clips of cops and raids.
Stock footage is all about gun crime. It's all the stock footage and cop dash footage and of people being shot, interspersed with these ridiculously amateurish looking attempts at fitting in with all those stock footages. But then they also have like these fake newsreaders who are there seems to be a female newsreader and a male newsreader. And the male newsreader is sometimes the newsreader and he's sometimes the guy out that they cross to. And in those cases he seems to be working for a different network. None of the graphics match up with the previous graphics. And there's also, it says, it's supposed to say gang violence out of control, and it says nag violence out of control. And when you see a spelling error on the news at the start of your movie, that is not a good sign for the rest of the movie. Cut to immediately the governor at a press conference after this. So it goes, gun crime is so bad, it's raising, and then we cut to him and he's like, crime is down.
Yeah. Outside City Hall, hundreds of people in front of him. We're on top of it. It's contradictory.
We just got told hundreds of times that it's not. But they haven't revealed this guy's the bad guy yet, but they basically did.
They basically,
in the first line.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the movie, yes.
And then they ham-fist in the...
What about the pipeline?
He wants to put a pipeline down through the town that's going to, some people are worried is going to be not helpful to the environment, but he wants to make that money. And he said, we've commissioned another report to make sure it is safe. End of press conference, and at the end of that conference I was like, so he's the baddie and he's polluting. It was so stupid. When they reveal it halfway through the movie, you're like, yeah, no kidding. Vivian, John Travolta's wife, she works for the governor, and she's tasked with working out the maths as to whether the pipeline will be environmentally hazardous. After the press conference, we see John Travolta picking up his wife from the airport.
They get one scene together.
Yeah.
One scene.
And she gets two scenes. She gets the one at home where she's sort of
working,
bantering with the family, and it's a bit rough. She's working, and it's like that scene is there to make you feel for her, the fact that she died. Like if you didn't have that scene, you'd be like, well, we've known this lady for 5 seconds.
Yeah, for one walk from over there in the car park to over here in the car park.
Knowing her for 20 seconds instead of 5 seconds, that didn't make me feel
like
I wasn't that sad when she died. I was like, I thought the rapport was almost believable. I thought the rapport Travolta had with her was the same as the rapport Travolta has with, what's his name?
Dennis.
Chris Maloney, the character known as Dennis, which is one of his friends who's also ex-Black Ops.
SVU.
And he's the guy who I would say is Mr. Competent. He has weird chemistry with that guy, and he has like almost chemistry with that guy, and I think he has almost chemistry with his wife. It's like this weird barrier between him and other human beings that can't be broken down. I don't know how they do it. At the airport, they get to the car park and they get sort of jumped and mugged. So they get mugged, she gets murdered, he gets knocked out. He wakes up, she's dead, they're gone. And he then goes to the cops, obviously.
All these detectives, they seem like assholes, basically.
Yeah, they're just fobbing him off.
They fob him off and they ask him some rude questions. He's buttoned down for these detectives, and that is actually quite believable. There are moments in this where John Travolta's acting ability comes to the
Yeah.
fore, and he does stand out.
After he leaves, they say a conversation to each other that tells us that they're corrupt, basically.
Yeah.
These files are on ice. We can't let them find anything out about this, so they're just going to kill the case, basically.
Yeah, for the governor.
Yeah, because of that, though, old Black Ops Mr. Useless goes and contacts his friend, who is SVU, and asks for his help. And SVU is, without SVU, John Travolta would be dead after his first encounter with the first person. And then if he survived that first encounter alone, he would have died at the next encounter.
Yes.
And then the next one, and then the next one. There was no chance of him ever succeeding in this without that other guy.
But when the action's on, he really seems to enjoy it. He seems to thrive.
He also has a gun range and weapon storage under his barber shop. And you go down about 2 flights of stairs, and then there's a gun range where nobody can hear you firing magnums.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
In the 1 floor up.
They've got sort of tinfoil on the walls, though, so it might be some special tinfoil to absorb sound-absorbing tinfoil.
It's movie disbelief foil.
After Big Stan talks to the detectives, and they convince him that they are not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, they're like, he'll be killed at some point.
Yeah, we know these guys. He'll OD or he'll be shot.
It's like, oh, cool. So why do we have the police department?
Yeah,
If everyone's you just wait for them to die.
Yeah, you really just asked me to wait for him to die.
Yeah, thanks.
But anyway, he gets sad, and after that is the funeral. And at the funeral, this sets up John Travolta for the whole movie. He turns up and he sees his wife in the open casket. His daughter turns up there, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," to each other. Semi-believable. But then he's like, "I gotta go. I'm off. I can't talk to people." He just drops it in his daughter's lap again.
Yeah, that was a dick move, eh?
Real dick move. So everyone's coming to this funeral. They're all going to be like, "Where's Stanley?"
Where's Stan?
And she's going to be like, "Sorry, he's not here."
She was murdered and no one was arrested?
Yeah.
He's not here. It's like,
Yeah.
that sounds incredibly dodgy if
Yeah.
you're not in the know of what's going on.
Yeah. So once again, she's shouldering the weight of Stanley's, I don't know, bad decision making.
Yeah, she's the one who suffers for his uselessness, mainly.
The whole movie. But yeah, after he leaves the funeral, you'd think he's going to do something important, but no, he's going to drink.
He goes home to drink, and then he gets a Bible given to him by the priest at the funeral. He's like, you need this Bible. And he's like, I'm not religious, I only ever went to church for my wife. And he's like, that's exactly why you need to take it. And then later on, when he's a bit drunk, he grabs the Bible and he opens it. And then he's like, rah, and he chucks it. And then it lands on a page. And then he's like, oh, so he goes over and grabs it, opens it up, looks down to see that the movie has highlighted one passage for him that he reads in like 0.2 of a second and totally understands. Well, actually, he misunderstands it.
This is all the meaning he needs,
this
right
is
here.
the title of the film. The title of the film is I Am Wrath, right? But the quote is Jeremiah 6:11. I am full of the wrath of the Lord, and I cannot hold it in, which is not the same. Just saying I am a personification of rage and revenge and stuff. That's different to I have feelings.
The Bible provides him with a purpose.
Well, he says that. So what inspires him to... He's got like this fake... It's sort of like a John Wick ripoff as well. He's got this like... Oh, he's a secret badass that no one knew about and he shouldn't have messed with him. Yeah. And it turns out he's got, weapons cache hidden in his house. That
Weapons
he
cache.
has to break a wall or a concrete floor
Yeah.
to get out, and then he gets it out. But it's weird because he looks at the wall where that is in the cupboard and you're like, what's he doing? And then he goes for a drive. And when he goes for the drive, he happens to see, he's standing on the side of the road, the guy who killed his wife.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, he goes back home to get his guns and stuff. And you're like, if you had your guns with you, you could have taken them out. Why did you drive around looking for him if you didn't have your guns? What was he going to do?
Yeah.
Apparently what he was going to do was see him and then drive away. But what?
That is filler, right? That felt like filler to me.
Anyway, so anytime he decides, various series of events, he keeps going into places and attacking people trying to find information. And basically the way he fishes for information is terrible.
Oh.
He'll ring up a place and go, is Charlie there? And they'll be like, no. Oh, is Laz there? No. Who's this? And then you hang up. And then, imagine that place, you got that phone call and you are a criminal. You'd be like, that's odd.
Yeah.
And then a guy turns up with the same voice and says, hey, is Laz here? And they go, no. Hey, what about Charlie? Is he here? No. How do you know them?
Through my daughter.
My daughter knows them. It sounds like he's all making this up, like he didn't expect to be questioned or anything like that.
And the whole idea of him getting a tattoo, he knows these are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And he'll just lie down on a table with his back to them and get a tattoo knowing that it's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're an idiot.
But also, he gets I Am Roth tattooed on his back. And there's so many things wrong with this. You see the tattoo for about half a second when he sits up and pulls his shirt down. And it's the title of the movie. They don't make any... There's no fanfare about that tattoo whatsoever. When he gets up, it doesn't hurt him,
No.
even though he's just been cut in the back. And when he goes to sleep that night, he sleeps on his back. In the morning, it's going to say, like, it's going to be all smeared down the back of his clothes and his bed, and it's going to be blood everywhere. And it's like, well, this guy's an idiot.
After that, the scene after that is Stanley's having breakfast or something at a cafe, eating away, just wrapping it up. And then his daughter arrives, and he's like, hey, kind of shifty. They have a little conversation, and then he's like waving to somebody. They bring the check. He ups and leaves. It's like it was like they were there to meet to have breakfast, and she arrives, and he's like, see ya.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Oh, I'm glad I'd spend an hour driving over here.
Yeah, well, you.
But because of his stupidity,
Yeah.
because he didn't talk to her, he basically left her to be in danger, and his grandson, and his son-in-law.
If he had said at that point, look, I'm going to need you to go to take the family, go to a hotel while I do this thing.
Yeah, he waits until they're all in mortal danger to do that.
He waits until there is
Until
a
it's too late.
drive-by and
Yeah,
an attempt on their life.
Well, the night they go, is the night the baddie turns up at their house. It's like too late.
That's after the drive-by. It's like, by that point, he's already shot and he's in hospital.
These special ops guys.
I am Stan.
So, the first, when he goes to the first bar, the first stakeout, the first failure, he gets immediately noticed.
This is after he's visited SVU, right?
Yeah, he's got the information from SVU. SVU's provided him the files that were apparently on ice and unavailable to get. Apparently he can get them.
He's that good.
He's given him weapons and he's advised him not to do all this. So he's clearly there, shadowing him. And he seems to have a personality.
He's good.
Which is good. He seems to enjoy his life, which I like in a character. So John Travolta goes to this first place. He gets immediately spotted. They get into a fight. They get pushed out the back and they're battling. And then he shoots the dude.
He does. Well, they both shoot him.
They both shoot him. And then these black ops guys who are all about preparation, planning, foresight, and then having knowledge of how to deal with stressful situations and dangers and weapons and all this. This is they don't want to be caught committing a
Risk,
crime.
surveillance would have been a strong part of their training.
Yeah, I always thought that when special forces soldier went into a new room, that they would check the corners, check windows, check all the possible spots they may not see, or if there's someone hiding.
If there's two of them, one of them might be a lookout.
Yeah. But anyway, so they kill the dude, and then they just hip his body into a dumpster that's like 3 meters away from where they are. Then they pour a bunch of booze in there or lighter fluid or something, and then they throw a lit cigarette in there, and it like explodes the skip and puts a huge fire coming out of this dumpster.
It's the most ridiculous moment as well when they're putting it in there and he's pouring the lighter fluid or whatever it is on them.
And they're both just going like...
They're looking around like they're in this very well lit area.
It's like cartoon looking around where it's cursory.
Just pouring this thing here.
It's like what I'm looking at when I do this is that wall, then you, and that wall, and then you. I'm not seeing any of this. And they don't see that there's a guy like 3 meters away filming them with the camera. So straight away, his identity is given to the main baddie who's like, right, we got to kill this guy. And the main baddie rewards the informant with chopping off his finger with bowl cutters.
Lemmy K, your main bad guy gangster, apparently has the governor and all the police wrapped around his little finger, all because he has one video.
Yeah.
Of
which apparently couldn't ever be spun in a different way, which is the governor's son's underage girlfriend dying of a drug overdose at a party at their house.
Yeah, that's it.
Which once you're elected,
he's already the governor.
Yeah, there's no problem. You're elected. If you were running to be governor, that's when that guy could have made all those pressures. I'm going to release this. If you don't, you're never going to make governor if this gets out.
Yeah.
Once the guy's governor, he has control of the entire police. He has corrupt cops within the police. Why doesn't he send any of them to take this guy out? This guy's holding this thing over him. Anyway, that guy, he's like this Latino gangbanger type. And all, he cuts people's fingers off and all. Isn't he a dark psycho? And everyone does what he says to keep his empire running. But, hey, Ian, tell us about his empire.
His empire appears to be a shoebox bar. and he's in the back room.
He's in
And
the
it's
back room.
it's all so tight. It's one of those things where the scene is shot and the room's obviously tiny, so people are cramming up every outside corner.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of close-ups.
He sits there getting a lap dance while there's some other strippers in the background, and that's just where he sits all the time.
Yeah.
He just sits in this one room being annoyed.
Apparently everyone's afraid of Lemmy Kay, not only because he has a video of the governor's son's girlfriend overdosing at a party, but because he ate someone's fingers.
Yes, he chopped someone's fingers off and ate them. Travolta's next move is to go to sees Dennis, and he gets given guns, help, those files, and a bulletproof vest.
Yes.
And they spend about 2 seconds showing you he gets a bulletproof vest.
Greatest in body armor, check that out. It's like putting silk on your ass.
Any luck with that cell phone?
And that in itself is such a clue, because you're like, why'd they bring that up? And then immediately move on. Oh, it's going to come up.
Plot device.
Yeah.
Nice. At that point, Stan armors up. He gets locked and loaded and ready to take on the second guy on his list.
And by getting locked and loaded, he gets like one pistol, and he also gets a very small and sharp knife and shoves it directly down into his shoe, which I was like, what? It was like he was pushing it straight into his own heel.
At this point, it reveals officially that the governor is corrupt. But, as we said at the beginning,
That was no surprise.
it's revealed straight away.
Yeah, if you've got a brain.
Yeah. Bit of
He
that.
thinks we're all as stupid as Stan.
We're all just a bunch of Stans out here, mate. Because of the first guy being killed,
Yeah.
and now Lemmy Kay knows who's involved, and that someone took a video of them killing the first guy. Lemmy Kay and his gangsters are out to get SVU and Wig Job.
Yeah.
And the first thing that happens is the barbershop. SVU's barbershop is broken into.
Yeah.
He turns up, the alarm's going off, the doors open, the windows smashed, there's stuff everywhere, and the ex-special ops man, he
walks in.
must do something pretty impressive upon that situation. No, he walks in with no weapon.
And the door that goes to the left down to the gun range, which is the door you would keep your eye on if someone had broken into your barbershop,
It's open.
he just doesn't look at that.
But
He looks
there's-
at the distraction that he's been given, which is a guy in the corner.
Yeah, and I
He just stares at that guy and says, I've been flanked.
It's also like the guy in the corner is in a chair facing the other way, like Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Dennis goes in and he takes them all out. He takes out 2 of them, and one of them runs away.
With so much confidence.
The whole strange thing about this, though, is they've teamed up, their partners, right? John Travolta and Chris Maloney. And he's like, right, we're going to go, we've got this place to raid, but I'll meet you there because the alarm at my barbershop's gone off. And this is after they've killed that other gangbanger. And that doesn't ring any bells for any of them. Like, John Travolta doesn't think, oh, there might be trouble, I might go help him. Like, his mate helps him at every turn, and John Travolta's just like, okay, I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, but John Travolta keeps saying he doesn't want help, and he won't thank the guy for helping him over and over again.
For some reason.
But yeah, SVU should have known. Oh, we've just taken out this gangbanger. Oh, now my barbershop's been broken into. That's weird.
Yeah, I guess I'll blunder on in the dark, yelling out my position, and turn the lights on, and then I was like, is he going to die here? Because I thought he should. They got him.
Yeah, I think one of the things they get from that encounter is Charlie gets away from SVU, but...
Charlie is the guy who stabbed his wife at the start, the gangbanger employed to kill his wife.
Yep. From the barbershop, they get a cell phone. And there's one number on that cell phone, only one.
Zombie tattoo, hello?
Is Lars there?
No, not now.
When will he be back?
Not sure. He's freelance, so it's hard
Hey,
to
how about
say.
Charlie?
Yo, who is this?
I always wanted a tattoo.
They go there, and yeah, that's when John Travolta really is like the worst infiltrator and the worst liar and the worst actor when he's under pressure. And
a terrible decision maker. Now's not the time to get a full back tattoo.
yeah, now's not the time to lie down, take your shirt off, and put yourself in the most vulnerable position in the den of baddies.
Yeah.
While asking all these obviously dodgy questions, and you can't see the guy's face to read whether he's onto you or not. And he's like clearly onto him straight away. He's like, doing this back tattoo, looking at him like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And the guy,
I guess he could be forgiven throughout this whole movie because his wife's just been killed. That could be an explanation for his terrible decision making, but
no, because
no,
like
I
if you
don't
compare
accept
it-
that.
If you compare it to like Taken, where his
Yeah.
daughter's taken,
Yep.
Being a special ops person is about making those smart decisions under pressure and making those smart choices. And he doesn't have any of that. It's like he's John Travolta. And that's it. It's like he's just some dude who blunders in. You know,
Even when he shoots people, it's kind of sometimes he has like full sideways gun and
he's doing
like
this
upside down gun.
upside down shooting. I think from the tattoo place, he somehow beats them up and gets another piece of information to take him to the next place he has to go.
He doesn't go straight to his mate for additional help or anything like that. He goes home for another sad breakdown scene where he's drinking and...
Oh, that's the first time where he shows, because it's shown him just moping a lot. And it's the first time where it showed him like remembering her. Like he turns over in his bed and he looks over, you know, she's like in the bed smiling at him and he's like, oh. And it's like, there need to be more of that. You need to actually care about the fact that she died.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make you care about it way too late. It needs to be earlier.
And she needed more than 2 scenes. No, he has just killed yet another one of these gang members who all know who he is.
He just goes and gets pissed.
Because they know who he is, they know where he lives. So he just goes home and gets pissed. There's nothing stopping this gang from coming to his house and taking care of him. And it also reveals later on the reason his wife was killed was because of the test results she found. Those test results are in his house. And right at the end, he finds them.
Yeah.
And he's opening them up and reading them and like shocked. And Governor is doing no sort of cleanup job. The evidence that the police would like to see about this to get rid of all of this trouble is right there in Stan's house.
I think if you had cops under your control and you wanted to control information, because that's the whole point, that you would try to actually control that information. You wouldn't just kill the woman, you'd also kill all the bits of paper that incriminate you.
Yeah.
Well, you'd get rid of them.
The research that she had done, there was a message on her phone that was saying, we're not going to go with those numbers you found. We're going to have to go with the numbers we've been provided.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Click. And then he's like, John Travolta's like, oh.
Yeah, and this is like near the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that takes him to church. He goes there and talks to Jesus on the cross and says,
Tell me when to stop.
Because Jesus is all about, yeah, go on with your gun violence. Shoot everyone up.
I'll give you a clear sign when to stop.
Get your vengeance, despite the fact I've already forgiven the sins of all the people that you're killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Take them out.
Yeah, and you say to the priest, hey, what do you reckon I should do? Does he give?
John Travolta's like, I've done some bad things in my life.
Killed people, yeah.
Do you think because I killed those people,
That's right.
it's going to affect my wife? Is that why she's dead? Because of what I did?
Yeah, is it like karma?
Yeah.
But then what's so weird about that is that he gives no thoughts to his actions affecting his remaining living family members.
Yeah, who he's screwing over.
The next scene is his daughter being involved in a drive-by because they're borrowing his car because he's like, oh yeah, you can just take my car.
Yeah.
And it's stored at the house where the gang members know that I live. It's so bizarre.
God. But
I am Stan.
John Travolta's talking to the priest and he does a confession. And he's like, I'll never see my wife again. That's the rules, isn't it? I'll burn in hell.
Yeah, she's in heaven and I'll be in hell.
And then the priest says, look at this card. And he gives them this card and it's like a little story of some character from the Bible.
When Jesus is on the cross, the guy next to him on the cross is one of the lowest people possible, a thief of the poorest.
Yeah, a
And he's
corrupt
sort of
man.
And he's like sad because that was the highest he was ever going to be, basically a low beggar.
Yeah.
And then Jesus says, no, don't worry about it. Any sins you have committed,
Yeah.
we've already forgiven you for. Jesus has already died for your sins.
So it doesn't
So
matter
you can
what
do
you've
whatever
done.
you want.
So whatever.
You can just go and kill
You
whoever
killed
you
lots
like.
of people. Doesn't matter. What? What?
I don't understand.
You're a priest.
Yeah.
You meant to talk me out of this.
You really like me, don't you?
The church will bend over backwards to get you in here. Yeah, you can murder people.
We can forgive murder. It's fine. The drive-by.
The drive-by.
Yeah.
And his daughter says to him, he says like, their car crashed in the drive-by, the husband is shot.
Yeah.
The daughter is scared, obviously, and he pulls in, he's like, oh, what happened? There's a drive-by. And he's like, I would never let anything happen to you. And she's like, it just did! So from there, that inspires him to continue being on a path of revenge.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guess the family now know to be careful because Grandpa's running around shooting gangbangers. You go to another scene where you've got SVU and Stanley planning and armouring up.
Is this before the big club attack?
This is before the club attack.
This is before the big rip-off of John Wick happens.
The big John Wick rip-off, and you they go to a club where the gangbangers are, where Lemmy K runs his operation. So you got the two very old dudes go to a club full of young-looking people.
Following Charlie.
And Stanley is just in full leather coat and hood.
Yeah.
Who goes into a club looking like that?
If you want to blend in a club, wear like a leather hoodie over your head and like muscle your way through the crowd.
Looking angry.
Looking like no one else there.
But it's one of the best scenes in the movie is they've followed Charlie here. They've managed to lure Charlie to this club.
Yeah, they stole Charlie's stuff and then they've sent an anonymous text to him saying, come to the club and you'll get your stuff back, but come by yourself. And stupidly, he actually does come by.
He goes into a VIP room in this club. He's there, he doesn't know who is setting him up. He should really, because all of this started once he messed with John Travolta. But anyway, he doesn't know who's there, who has his stuff, and who's there to meet him. So he's looking around this VIP room at all the other people there, and he's trying to figure out which one of them is there for him, who's got his bag of stuff, and across the room is this other guy
in a black suit.
Yeah, and he's got like a package next to him.
And he's just staring at him.
Yeah, he's like eyeballs.
He sends him a text he sends a text to the person who's been texting him saying, is that my stuff?
Yeah.
And the guy's like looking at him like, why are you staring at me?
Yeah.
And then he just keeps staring at him, and then the guy like starts moving his bag like closer to him and looking, because the guy works there, I guess, or he knows people there.
Yeah.
And he looks up at the security guard who's like, what? Oh, that guy. Okay, they go over to start dealing with this guy.
And at that point, Charlie's revealed that he has a gun.
He's pulling out his gun. Whoever
But
wrote
yeah,
this assumes people are just so stupid.
That little mini drama between Charlie and the dude who doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, this little standoff that happens that is like going to ruin the plan of our heroes.
It's really good, and it's an interesting scene, but then just Travolta bumbles in and starts firing his guns.
Hey, listen. Hey, you. You can't come in here.
Yeah.
But then as they're trying to leave, everyone starts going nuts in the club.
Hold on.
Running.
He kills Charlie then.
Oh, he does. Yes, all right. Yes.
He finally makes the connection.
He interrogates Charlie, having hit him with an invisible limb that we don't see. We see him we just cut to Charlie. He goes like, oh, and he's like, what? What hit him there?
Yeah.
And then he says, who is it? Who is it that's behind this? And he's like, I can't possibly tell you. And he said, who is it? And he goes, it's Lemmy K.
Yeah.
He's like, so you could tell me. and then he's like,
boom, shoots him anyway.
And then he just kills him, even though it's like, oh, I see, you were just following orders, boom.
Yeah, and with the fanciest backhand.
He does this weird turn around, like the least special forces kind of gunshot you could have.
As I'm leaving, boom.
He's so accurate, he doesn't even need to look.
He shoots him right in the head as well.
Yeah, so they're leaving and everyone's
That's when it goes John Wick, man.
Yeah, it goes panicking, and now they're escaping the club. There's people running. There's guys coming in with Uzis and machine guns.
There's red light on everything.
Pure red light on everything, and there's these vague jiu-jitsu disarm while shooting things happening.
Headshot.
The filming of it and the choreography of it is real weird. SVU is coming towards the camera and he hits it to it, and he moves around, another guy shoots him and he ducks under. And then he shoots a gun almost here on our view. It's like across our own view. And then it cuts to a guy being shot. And it's like that 1-3 move maneuver is the most exciting maneuver in the whole movie. It's like, let's do some John Wick stuff. It's like someone thought that. And then they went, cool, let's film it. And then they went to set it up with no real stuntman choreographer or anything like that. Oh, and that's when it also has an awesome frame rate drop.
Oh.
Where John Travolta goes to shoot someone, and for some reason, it's the only time in the movie it happens. It drops down to 10 frames a second.
Random slow motion scene.
It's like, oh, that's usually when people do that in a movie, it's to signify that something special is going on. But it just seems like he's just shooting another person.
Lemmy K now knows someone has taken his stuff, or he knows who has taken his stuff, and he also knows, finally, where to find them. Cue home invasion on the daughter of the idiot who started all this. Well, no, he didn't really start it.
And
but he carried it on.
Yeah, their attempts to escape result in the babysitter being shot and killed, which they pay no service to at all. She gets killed, and it's just she was removed from the movie. So they never express any sadness or regret about the fact that the babysitter, who's not related to them, tried to help them and got killed.
She saved the mum's life.
Yeah, she's the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
That babysitter. And then she gets killed straight away. It's like a little 13 or 14-year-old girl takes on some gangbangers. No one else really.
She takes on Lemmy K.
Yeah.
She jumps on his gun. It's like when he's about to shoot.
That guy Lemmy K never struck me as being a very particularly powerful individual. Every time you spoke to him, people who are just angry all the time seem insecure.
Yeah.
And so he came across as massively insecure. I need to surround myself with beautiful women. It's like, why? if you felt secure in yourself, you wouldn't need that boost all the time.
I need to, even when people help me out on my team,
I have to hurt them.
I have to hurt them afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so once Lee McKay has come in and taken the daughter hostage and the grandson, it's,
He says, get Stan here.
yeah, get Stan, call him! And then so she sends him a text.
Yep.
With like some vaguely, slightly misspelled, like the son's name is wrong, and,
Yep.
and this he's like, there's something wrong, I've got to get over there. Real? I'm surprised he picked up on it, eh?
Yeah.
Because he seems so stupid, I wouldn't be surprised if
He would have been
didn't
like, I haven't got time for this right now.
He'd be like, I don't know what my grandson's name is.
Oh, okay, so Grandpa Stan turns up and
Fights Lee McKay.
he fights Lee McKay. So Lee McKay turned up with like one dude, and that one dude gets stabbed by the daughter straight away. And then as soon as Stan turns up, he kills that other dude. So now Lee McKay's on his own. What's he going to do? He's going to grab a hostage. That's what they all do. So yes, he grabs a hostage, which is the daughter, gun to the head, and he's like, "Put your gun down to Stan."
Yeah.
And
He does.
And he does.
Kick it over here, which he does.
Once Stan's disarmed, Lee McKay throws this hostage aside, and he's standing there like this.
Yeah. And then
SVU saves the day through the window.
snipes him through the window.
Snipes him through the window.
And you're just like, why didn't you just shoot John Travolta that whole time? You've got the daughter there with
Yeah.
the gun, he puts the gun down, shoot him.
Yeah.
Shoot his leg.
Problem solved.
Shoot his arm.
Yeah, so then once SVU shoots Lee McKay, Travolta's all over him, smashing him, kicking him on the ground and stuff.
Then Lee McKay gives away the game
Yep.
as well, like almost straight away.
Lee McKay, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you.
I'll never tell you. Okay, it was the governor.
Yep.
He's interviewing Lee McKay, interrogating him.
Oh,
and Lee
yeah.
McKay gets shot, and you're like, and you turn around and one of the two detectives is there. And he's like, hey, time to come on our side, man. I can help you out. And
Yeah.
he's sort of like, I'm not going to help you. And then he's like, well, I brought backup. And then the guy who's outside the house, who can apparently hear all the dialogue inside the house, knew that it was his time to walk in.
Q.
Opens the door and comes up behind Travolta and has the gun up against his head. And then he's sort of like, oh, I have backup too. And then SVU walks in behind that guy. and knocks that guy out.
Go SVU.
SVU saves him. This is after SVU got shot again. He got
Fell
shot
down some stairs.
He got shot at the club.
Yep.
He's fine. He got shot while sniping and falls down some stairs. He's fine. He doesn't seem to take injuries.
No. They now...
They take the cops and they put them in the car and they put one in the boot and they handcuff the other one to the steering wheel to get into the governor's dinner that he's having tonight.
Yeah, so make it work, he says to the guy with the hands cuffed to the steering wheel, and he just cruises up to the governor's house and someone just sort of waves him through. Yeah, come on through.
You're like, lucky he didn't look at your hands, wrist or anything.
Lucky he didn't do his job properly there.
We see that there's like double security tonight and like hundreds of guards. Next thing is he knocks out the dude.
Yeah, smacks him with the pistol, whips him.
And then they cut out the climax of the
the
movie.
cool-
I was like, here we go. This is the bit we've been waiting for, where he goes, infiltrates,
gonna
and
John
shows
Wick his way in.
special ops skills. No,
No,
the guy wakes up to see like a path of destruction.
yeah,
It's
like
already happened.
people all over the ground.
He also wakes to see that this car's about to explode.
Yeah, this car's about to explode.
And the guy in the boot, he's waking up and he's just getting out. And the guy in the front, he's handcuffed to the steering wheel and he's just like, oh crap, like I'm not going to be able to get away. The guy in the boot jumps and he gets about a foot out of the boot before the car explodes. And it's as if he just disappears. Like they just cut to an explosion, which is clearly a different shot, and he just is gone. So I was like, well, he's vaporized. But no, he comes back later with a slight burn on his cheek.
He does.
And we believe both detectives are dead. And they are. Come on.
Then you
They
go
were in an explosion.
Yeah. Then you are in the house. Stanley's making his way to the governor.
Apparently no alarm has gone off yet about all the...
There was an explosion outside, and people inside this house seem unaware of anything going on outside. Stanley comes through, he shoots a couple of guys, and his biggest competition, the governor, manages to shoot him with a shotgun.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the back with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then uses the stock of the rifle to smash him in the head.
And then the guy, he fights him. Stabs him.
For some
It's
reason,
like
this
a-
old
oh.
man
Yeah.
is suddenly
With no training.
a good contest for the special ops guy.
The guy's like, he gets stabbed by John Travolta. And I'm thinking, is that meant to be a callback to his wife being stabbed? He stabbed him instead of shooting.
No, this is where he uses that ankle.
It's the ankle knife.
The knife he drove into his ankle.
Yeah. Stabbed.
But this is bizarre. The governor has him on the ground. He has a shotgun on him. Somehow Stan stabs him from the ground.
Anyway, stabs him and he's like, "Who are you?"
Oh.
Even though he's had it fully explained to him who it is because he's spoken to the cops and he knows the guy's wife.
He knows his name.
They would have met hundreds of times. Who are you? And then he goes, "I am Roth," while looking sad and confused.
Yeah.
You think if you were going to say that line, "I am Roth," you would say it with a bit of wrath.
You'd probably practice, wouldn't you, before delivering that line?
I think that piece of advice could be applied to this whole movie.
Well, it's another thing. The creator of this movie,
Or the director.
Chuck
Chuck Russell.
Also did The Mask, succeeded with The Mask. He wrote and directed The Blob. He directed The Scorpion King. He did Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm beginning to see what this movie is missing.
What's that?
A personality.
Oh, yeah. Could be.
So-
This is a low-budget movie because this movie was done something like 14 years after he did The Scorpion King. But low funding, aged actors, director has taken a massive break between movies.
Well,
All comes round to the result of this.
but it's funny though. You think taking a break off,
14-year break.
but it can have. Well, think about this though. This year we got that new Tool album, and that took 13 years to be made, and that was good.
It's true.
Yeah, that whole time they didn't stop thinking like creators. Seems like this guy in that 14 years has been doing something else.
You've been smoking that crack. Yes, after this governor scene,
Oh yes,
he walks out to a bunch of cops, and
Cops have all turned up.
they've all got their laser pointers directly at his chest. And if you have been watching and paying attention, you know he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
I just want to mention though, at the same time, there's some people like 20 feet to 30 feet to 40 feet to 50 feet away. So lots of them have pistols.
Yeah, and they're shooting for quite some time.
They're all firing. They all hit him in the chest. Oh, one in the shoulder. Like, oh, he's dead. The movie tries to say, oh, he's dead.
For
And I
about
was
a
just like,
second.
he's clearly alive.
Yeah. So he's caught, he's shot, and he's taken off to hospital and chained to a bed. And his daughter hasn't seen him for 3 days or something. Like, she can't get a chat with him.
They won't let her in.
They won't let her in. So she's there almost for the last time saying, so I'll never get to see my father again. And oh yes, this case has been blackballed and he'll get no trial with no lawyer.
He'll be tried at a military court because of his Black Ops background.
That's right.
And not in a court of a jury of his peers or whatever.
That's right, and there will be no lawyer. But just so happens at that time, the door opens next to her and there's Stanley on a bed in there. She runs in and tries to give him that last hug. And the
love
security's like, hey, get out of here, get out of here. You're not allowed in here.
No.
In that moment, she
Palmed off the pistol.
She had a pistol under a cardigan or something.
Yeah, like in her hand.
Yeah, and she puts that under his arm, under his pillow, whatever.
So how you used to say security guards, you can let let a lady who's right in front of you, holding a gun in her hand to trick you, and she was able to get in there. Like anyone
she was only in there for a second. She wouldn't have dropped a gun in his lap.
Imagine if she was the gangbang guy who wanted to kill him.
Boom!
They got him.
Yeah. It's the guards change, and the bad guy, the bad detective who got burnt.
The guy who blew up and was clearly dead.
The guy who was vaporized turns up.
He was a foot away from the fuel tank that exploded.
Yeah. He's reformed.
He turns up with a slight burn on his face.
And he's heading in there to kill Stanley.
Yeah, when you murder people in a hospital bed, you get your detective position back.
Yeah.
And you and your partner, and that you're just punks.
Dennis.
SVU's turned up and shot him as well from behind. He saves the day.
Where he is makes no sense. The guy walks in the room. There's John Travolta on the bed, and then he turns around and he closes the little curtain, and the curtain is against the wall. Here's the wall, here's the door. Door, wall, curtain. He pulls the curtain, and then Dennis magically appears here behind the curtain.
There must be a soundproof curtain, and Dennis came through the door. But anyway.
What?
Yeah. Anyway,
just unbelievably stupid.
I'm seeing a trend with the movies we watch. SVU or Dennis saves his ass again and takes him off on a wheelchair and gets him out of there.
Yeah, and what is supposedly a humorous escape? It's hard to tell. You never see, I was like, what? No, there's going to be cops everywhere.
He got away.
Because they got away. That premise of my mate dresses as a doctor.
Yeah.
It's like the oldest premise in movies ever. Look for a dead orange cat sitting atop a potato.
Cue to the end of the movie where you've got Stan's daughter and husband and her son, so grandson of Stan, are all at the house. They're playing. They're happy. They've survived. All is well, and the daughter goes to the letterbox.
Gets handed some mail by the mailman.
That's right. Gets that letter.
His message to his daughter after this great big drama.
He'd be
danger
a big old
is,
fugitive.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm good. Love, John Travolta.
This is where I am.
Yeah.
Come on, John. But there's your happy ending.
That's the end.
Got to have a happy ending. Still very hard to get on board with Stanley.
It is. It's just that he's got this bubble of unnaturalness all around his interactions with everybody.
Yeah, so sorry from me.
So
I Am Roth is a 3 out of 10.
Well, this movie made me feel like I am full of wrath of the Lord, and I cannot hold it in.
Okay.
So I guess a 2.
You've let it out today, so that's healthy.
There's some positives, but man, they're tiny. There's a lot of negatives, but man, they're not negative enough. It's just like so bland. And if you've seen Taken or John Wick, go watch them again.
Yeah.
They're a lot better than this. This is like,
This
why
is
am I wasting my time with this? I felt nothing through the whole thing. It was just like no emotions to be had. There was no fear, no thrill. The action was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that was an hour and a half of my life, and then now it's over. But it's on Netflix.
It is. So don't watch it. Watch something else.
Or do. It's up to you. Why are you even watching this?
Yeah. Go clean your room.
Go do something productive.
Oh, don't look at me like that.
Go do something real productive like make a movie such as this or watch this movie.
Yeah, if you got $18 million to pour down the toilet,
I would have just kept that money and retired.
invest it at a low interest rate on a
Probably.
10-year plan.
I thought he was just going to be called Ross. And he had a speech impediment.
I am Roth.
Jonathan Roth.
Beware Roth.
I am Roth. Although it's American, so they say Wrath. Don't they? I'm
Oh, yeah.
Wrath. So then
Yeah.
that Ross joke doesn't really work.
No, it does. It does in New Zealand though. So
I am.
go New Zealand.
Who are you? I am Wrath. Dun dun.
It's a weird name.
The star of the movie was that wig. So that was that. And that movie was a movie. But only just. We'll see you next time. Here on The Bad Amateurs.
What? It's a push door. Push. Yeah, I know, Dennis. Whoa. Stand. You okay? Oh, that looks nasty. Let's deal with that.
Just calm down, Steve. Calm down. Calm down. It's gotta be done. Okay now. Hold on now. Here comes the plaster. Here comes the plaster. Just wait a minute. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Alright, deep breath. Alright, there we go. There we go, big fella. There we go. It's gonna be okay.
Do I get a lolly?
You can have a lolly.
Yay!